Good evening, and welcome to another World of Warships video with Captain Darkwing Glacier. In this battle, I am taking out my Tier VIII French Cruiser, the Charles Martel. The Charles Martel is one of my favorite ships in the game. It is similar in many ways to the American cruiser line. It has 203mm guns in the same configuration that the American heavy cruisers do. But it does not have radar. What it does have is a speed boost, and with that speed boost, especially when you have the flag, you can achieve phenomenal speeds for a cruiser. As you can see right now, my speed was going up above 37 knots. Now, this is an advantage, especially for a kiting type ship, because when you're spotted, all you have to do is speed away, and it's extremely common for your opponent to not give you enough lead when he fires. And I can't tell you the number of times when I am just speeding along and their shells just land way behind me. The ship is also maneuverable enough that you can dodge and, wiggle your stern enough to evade shots from the enemy as well. So in that sense, it's a very good kiting ship. It has a decent range at 17.6 kilometers, and here I start going to the decap, as you can see, and there are two cruisers there, an Indianapolis and I believe it was a Shores, and I immediately start turning away and beginning the kiting. I was going to launch off some torpedoes, but unfortunately I did get hit and it was disabled, but I am going to prepare to launch some torpedoes now, at least to maybe slow them down a little bit. Yeah, there go my torpedoes. And the Indianapolis is also a ship I have. It's a very good ship. I like it, but it's also very vulnerable to Citadel hits. So this is not a ship I'm particularly worried about in my Charles Martel. I know exactly how to handle it. I need to respect his guns. I need to keep going fast, keep maneuvering, and he's not going to be able to touch me, or at least damage me too much. The Shores is kind of similar. It does not turn very well. It has pretty good guns. But again, against the two of them, that's something I definitely have to respect and definitely kite as best I can and not get hit. The Shores was showing some broadsides, so I temporarily switched to AP there. Yes, that of course the torpedoes I launched, that's another difference between this and the American cruiser line that I like very much. It also can get hydro, which for this battle I got defensive fire, because I was worried about carriers. Turned out that worry was misplaced, and hydro probably would have served me a little bit better in this game, but we'll see how things go. So I've set a fire on the Indianapolis, and what's good news is that he does not have a heal, so he can't heal that fire up, so he will either have to take the damage or repair it immediately, which just makes him vulnerable to be setting on fire again. So at this point I was all alone and basically fleeing these guys, and now a friendly Yugumo has entered the fray, which is definitely welcome. And it looks like I do have some fire coming through the gap from either the Chapayev or the Otago on my team. So it's definitely nice to have some support on my team on this side, even though D is usually you're either all on your own or you get killed. So the Indianapolis is burning, he's losing health, he's not going to last much longer. I'm hoping I can take him out before he does any more damage to me. I'm already down to, looks like 70% of my health, but I'm keeping him at range. My shells are frequently shattering on him, but I'm still doing enough damage. Either the fire ran out or he repaired it. So hopefully my Yugumo might get some torpedoes off. Yep, that's what he's doing right now. The Indianapolis looks like he's starting to turn away, and it turns out we actually have a third enemy ship in the fight. It's the Udaloy, who is full health, and he is fast. He is definitely a major threat to the Yugumo, so I'm going to have to support him and try to get this Indianapolis taken care of as fast as possible. The rest of my team is doing pretty good. We've gotten the B cap. Looks like we're taking the C cap now as the Otago is coming over to help. It looks like we're in the process of losing A cap, or at least we're contesting it at this point. So a torpedo from the Yugumo looks like it does not quite get the Indianapolis, but at least it gets him to turn, which exposes a little more broadside to me, but of course I'm not prepared for it. I still have HE loaded, because I'm confident that I can either burn this guy down or just cause enough damage to whittle him down to death. So 2 more hits. He's only got 3,000 hit points left. I switched to AP because he's showing broadside. He's turning away. And the 12-second reload on the ship is a little frustrating, but it isn't, you know, out of the realm of what American cruisers are, and that's what I'm most used to having anyway. So 1 bounce, he's now completely fleeing, but I have HE loaded at this point. The Yugumo is helping me with his guns, and it's kind of a race to see who's the one who's going to get the kill at this point. And it turns out to be me, fortunately. So that's kill number 1, but I have to give my Yugumo a lot of thanks because he definitely provided assistance there, and I believe I do compliment him on this game. Because if he wasn't there, I think the Udaloy and the Indianapolis would have just chased me down, and I would have had to completely flee the area without getting any kills at all, unless I was extremely lucky. And the Otago is coming over here, so the Udaloy is going to be in trouble, and the Chapayev is coming around the other side of the island. The Udaloy basically does not have anywhere to go at this point. We are ahead on points. We also have 4 kills to their 3. Here the Udaloy puts up his smoke, but there's a Chapayev nearby, so that's not going to do him any good. And with 3 cruisers firing at him, he's probably not going to survive very long because he's near the edge of the map already. And there's really nowhere for him to go. So it's kind of a race now between the 3 cruisers. And at this point I decide I can leave this kill to the other 2 cruisers. He's almost dead anyway. And I get 1 more shot off, and I'm already turning back to see if I can get C, because there's the shores. He had retreated, and now he came around the islands, and he's coming from the other direction. So I have 20,000 hit points. He has almost 18,000. And I'm frankly not that scared of this guy, even though he has very good guns. Or high velocity guns, I should say. So try to get some AP shots on him, but I do get a lot of bounces because he is very well angled. I launched some torpedoes predicting that he will slow down a little bit in turn, so that's why I fired my torpedoes a little bit short of what the gray indicator was telling me to shoot, because I kind of expected him to kite away at one point, and that's what my torpedoes are doing right now. So we'll see if that actually works out. He takes out one of my turrets, but he is exposing a lot of broadside at this point. He sent some torpedoes himself. Looks like my torpedoes actually go behind him. So my tactic didn't quite work out, but here's his second wave of torpedoes. And I turn really hard, and unfortunately, because the Charles Martel is so fast, I fishtail, and my stern just runs right into the torpedo, and I take a hit. But I'm confident that I can run down this Shiratsu because I'm so fast. I fortunately dodge its next wave of torpedoes, but at this point I realize I kind of need to be careful, because if I go all the way through C in chasing this guy down, I'm going to expose my flank to that Gneisenau who is making his way into the B cap. There's also a Mogami over there as well. So I don't want to just charge forward and blindly follow him, so I cut my engine. And this kind of allows the Shiratsu to open up the distance, because even though I could outrun him, I cut my engine. So he is escaping, and he actually may fall out of detection. At this point I realize that the Gneisenau is behind the island, so I need to speed up again. So I go to full throttle, and I'm worried that this Shiratsu, that is going to pop some smoke, or he's going to fall off detection, and there he goes, and where did he go? So that was kind of a mistake on my part. I should have not gone completely to a full stop. I should have kept going, and I probably would have been able to take out that Shiratsu before he disappeared. At this point we're doing pretty well. We are above 6 ships to 5, and we're still up on points, so the game has just progressed more or less in our favor. Here's my speed of 38.5 knots. I do catch up to the Shiratsu because he turned a little bit, and that gets me kill number 2. I see a Kiev way off in the distance at 16 kilometers, but he's very low on health, 268 left, so I fire some long-range shots and hoping that I'd get lucky. And the Shirtsu fired off some last-ditch torpedoes to take me out. And fortunately, I was aware enough to dodge them as well. They weren't perfectly aimed, so that worked in my favor. On the other side of the map, the Iowa is on low health. The Yugomo was there, and I'm kind of eyeing him. And it looks like he's moving into the cap. He probably does not realize I'm here because he's focused on the Gneisenau. So I fire my HE. I get a nice hit there. And the Yugomo probably realizes that the game is up at this point and is trying to do as much damage as possible before he gets killed. He does succeed in taking out our Gneisenau, but then I take him out immediately. And that's kill number 4. The enemy Gneisenau appears to be in trouble here. He's facing a Missouri, a Yugumo, and both the Atago and the Chapayev are moving south through sea, and they're all going to gang up on him. So up north here, it's really me, the Kiev, and the Mogami. Now, he has 14,000 health, the Mogami does. I have 18,000. So I have an advantage here, but he has a lot of guns. And the person who is pursuing in a kiting contest is always the one who is at the disadvantage because his guns, it's more difficult to aim, and in this case, he has more guns, he can apply more of them to me, and he has that Kiev too, who's low on health, but he can also add some harassing fire, and here comes some HE shells to do that. So my health is kind of going down. The Mogami's is not. Well, it is. I'm actually whittling him down very slowly with the occasional hit. And he exposed his broadside there, so I switched to AP. Now I'm going back to HE. There was a fire and took out my steering, but I used my damage repair on the steering, but fortunately the fire that got added instantly after that got put out too, so that's good that it kind of had that kind of timing. The Mogami's down to 5,000. I'm down to 5,400, so this is really close, and at this point I realize, I think I'm pushing my luck a little too much, so I turn away and begin kiting myself, and it might be too late because his shells are coming my way, but fortunately my shells land first. I get Kraken unleashed, and that's kill number 5. And looking at the scoreboard, we are above by 400 points. We've doubled their score. There's only one ship left, that little Kiev, who has 268 hit points left. So last time he was spotted, he was at A, so he's probably going south, and if he does that, he's going to run right into the rest of my team. So I start moving in pursuit. At this point, I'm pretty excited and thinking maybe I can get kill number 6, but my aim is going to have to be perfect for me to do that. Unfortunately, I'm fast and I can redeploy rather quickly in this thing. And I'm detected, so that means he's pretty close to me. So he's either north of A or east of A, one side of this island or the other, so I aim my guns pretty much at the island so I can aim them whichever direction I need to. There he is, he pops smoke, but it's too little too late. My shells are on target, and that's kill number 6. So that is the Tier 8 French Cruiser, the Charles Martel. It is one of my favorite ships in the game. It is very fast, it is maneuverable, it has good guns, it has torpedoes with excellent fire arcs, and as long as you don't get too close to those battleships where they can citadel you into oblivion, you can do very well on this ship. So I hope you enjoyed the video, and thanks for watching.